white one. Okay. The circle. The big one. In this technique, we just use only focus on only the single point, the whole one. The big one. Yes, the big one. It's like we focus on one spot. One spot, not only white one, but the whole white. Yes. But when we close the eye, sometimes you can see clearly you can make it short, make it bigger, make it small, make it big, make it small. Yes. Some practitioners practice inside meditation, but sometimes they practice samatha before. They can get some experience, like they see the Buddha image happen in their mind, or they see the light. So please, we know together that if some practitioner, when Vipassana practitioners see the light, see the picture, you have to note seeing. Don't let yourself see that object again and again, because this is the result of samatha. So some signal, some light in samatha. So we have to observe and let it go. So Vipassana quite different from samatha. We have to let it go. Everything happens in the mind. We not attach or cling anything. We just see and let it go. See and let it go. So this is a difference. But samatha, you have to focus on only one single point, again and again, again and again, again and again. Okay.
Recording in progress.
I come back to my meditation. So when you have done meditation a long time, the challenges change. But it's not like you learn a skill and then you can do it. Meditation starts from where you are. And trust yourself when you're new. When I was setting out meditation, I had a number of experiences that would come up. And I would ask different teachers, what is it? And the teachers usually had no idea what I was talking about. This one time, I just started to learn to meditate, and there was no such thing as internet. So I only had some books. And this book said you focus on the abdomen. So I sit down and like this. I try really hard because I think I have to get some special experience. And then you know what happened? My face disappeared from here. And my face reappeared in my abdomen. And I can feel my face going with my breathing. I got it. This is meditation. It was a very strange experience. And I went to a temple and I mentioned this, really excited. I told the teacher about this experience. And he said, oh, your concentration must be very good. He said, my concentration is not that good. It's like, wait, what? At that time, I was really interested in every single experience. I was paying attention. So those of you who feel that you haven't been meditating a long time, please trust your own experiences. You are the one that can see your mind. You are the one that is experiencing this. Don't feel that you need to create a certain particular methodical experience. Usually when meditators do that, they're going in the wrong direction. Some people see colors, see beautiful rainbows. You can see the past, you can see the future. One time I saw my previous life. I saw when I died. I was very excited. So I had this story about how I died, and I could see it and I could play it forward and backwards. I think, hey, must be true. Was it true? I don't know. Some years later, I found some psychologists who are practicing past life regression. You lie down and they get you to go back and back in time. They have certain techniques, and then you go back into past lives. I was very excited. I wanted to see, I'd seen my past death. I wanted to see what was the life. Anyway, when I did this regression, it was some completely different story. So now I don't know, was that the right story? Was this the right story, or neither the right? I have no idea. So usually when you get into these strange experiences, you're going off on the wrong direction. The good meditator is the one that's experiencing the ordinary experiences, but doing it with mindfulness and awareness. It is ordinary, bringing attention to the ordinary. Most of your day, most of your time is filled with ordinary experiences. Of course, you remember all the amazing experiences, but most of the time is ordinary. Do you remember fantastic experiences eating food? Just one time I was in Singapore, I went to see a monk. I'm not sure he's a monk because he has a wife. He's a Tibetan monk, right? So is he a monk or not a monk? He looks like a monk, but in his tradition, you're not a real monk. You're taking the easy way out. You're just having sense pleasures and still call yourself a monk. And he said, no. Getting married is the difficult way. Being a monk is the easy way. And I went to see him. I like him. His name Pagtok Rinpoche. He's very nice, entertaining, very young guy, but very wise. And I walked across Singapore. But I found out in Singapore, there's no footpaths. You can walk in a little area, then you have to take a bus and another area, and take a bus and another area. You can't think, I want to go from here to here. There's no footpaths. So I was walking along there, walking through the beach. Then I was walking through some trees. Then I was climbing over fences. Then there's a road with a drainage ditch in the side of the road. I'm in the ditch at the side of the road because I want to go that way. No footpath. I was walking for about 4 hours. In Thailand, you walk 3 minutes, 5 minutes, you find 7-Eleven. I walk across in Singapore, nothing. Sure, they have shopping areas, but I want to go here. Anyway, eventually I get to the place where he will do the talk and cancelled. Or the morning session is cancelled. So I go into an Indian restaurant and I order a sweet lassi. It was the most perfect, beautiful, sweet lassi I ever had in life. I remember every tiny little suck on the straw, the bliss. You remember the vivid, strong experiences. Do you remember what you ate yesterday for lunch? Probably you don't remember what you ate this morning. You have to try. What did you eat 2 days ago for breakfast? You have no idea. Those are ordinary experiences. As a meditator, you should be interested in the ordinary experiences, not in the fantastic experiences. We're not here trying to experience amazing states of bliss or to grind out a mechanical concentration meditation on something, stop the mind. We're here to bring attention and awareness to ordinary everyday experiences. Just lifting your hand to your mouth, just drinking the coffee, just walking down the street, just sitting on the bus. I want to give a couple of minutes to talk about a little bit of Freudian psychology, just for fun. Freud, Sigmund Freud, if you know him, he was the first main psychologist. Many of his ideas are now rejected by modern psychologists, but he still had a lot of interesting ideas. One of his ideas was he looked at consciousness, and he split consciousness into 3 levels. Your conscious attention, your subconscious or pre-conscious of the things you are doing but you are not really aware of, and then your unconscious, which is things you cannot remember or predict. So the first one, consciousness, means the thing that you are putting attention on right now. So if you put your attention onto the color of the curtain behind me, kind of blue, right? Close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Close your eyes. Next to me is a seat. Don't look. You looked. Don't look. What color is the seat on my right-hand side? Raise your hand if you think you know the color without opening your eyes. And I've seen you, some of you open your eyes. Do you know the color? Okay, open your eyes. What color was it? You think this is orange? It's more like pink than orange. Now, some of you opened your eyes, so you don't win the competition. The point is that you're looking the whole time here. I could ask you to close your eyes and say, what is the color of my bag? You've been looking at me the whole time. It's right there. Most of you would not know the color of my bag because you did not bring it into conscious awareness, conscious attention. Conscious attention means specifically that thing that you are wakefully paying attention to at this present moment. And it's like a spotlight. You can look at me, you can look at the curtain, you can hear the air conditioning, you can feel the feeling in your big toe. Can you feel your big toe? Could you feel your big toe 5 seconds before I mentioned big toe? Here's the thing, you could feel it if you wanted to, right? You can put your attention onto it and feel it if you wish. You can put your attention onto the air conditioner if you wish. But conscious awareness, consciousness, is specifically that thing that you are paying attention to. You look at the color of the curtains or the color of the flowers. Some of you might be looking around, what's he going to ask me about next? Try and get all of it in your mind. Feelings in your body, your knee, your back, your neck, your nose. Memories in the mind. Do you see somebody when they're on the bus? Second they get on the bus, they sit down, and what happens to their eyes? Because their mind had gone off onto some other thing. Now conscious attention has gone off to that story. What I want to eat, what I want to do, what bills I need to pay, the new Samsung Galaxy phone that I want to buy. So conscious attention goes like a spotlight. What you're interested in as a meditator is specifically where conscious attention has landed. Pre-conscious means all those things you could pay attention to if you wanted. Right now, you can pay attention to the feeling in your feet, right? You just have to want it or will it, and that will somehow you kind of like, and then you get your attention there. Okay, now I can feel it. What you had for breakfast this morning, you have to call it into mind. Okay, now I bet my attention onto that. So the pre-conscious is everything you can pay attention to if you wish. Think about this. If you walk from here to the coffee shop, your consciousness says, coffee, I want coffee. Turns your attention like, off you go. And then your body obeys, right? Your body just goes walking. But to get there, you have to put one foot in front of the other, you have to balance, you have to open the door, you have to mind the car. All of that is done by your subconscious or your preconscious. Most of the things that you do in your life are operated by your subconscious mind. If at any time you want to pay attention, you can. When you reach for the door, you can pay attention, reaching for the door handle, but usually you don't. Usually your conscious mind is off thinking. Your unconscious, or your preconscious, I should say, is operating the machinery for you. Better hope that your machinery is operated properly. If you drink beer, then your machinery does not operate properly. You can see on YouTube, right? You can look up, can be quite amusing. So that is your preconscious, everything that you could pay attention to if you simply direct your mind there. The last one in Freudian psychology, we're not too interested in talking about today, but is your unconscious. In Buddhism, this means your karma. It means all the things that you did in the past. And I point to here because usually it's in this area. In psychology, we kind of, well, mythology, we usually call it here, it's in the belly, the wet area. All the things that you have done in the past that affect you now, but you can't remember. Thousands of experiences from your childhood, from your society, you can't remember. You don't know how these ideas got there. You just know that you like something, you dislike something. You don't know why. Are you afraid of spiders? Something in your past create this fear. You don't know what it is. But right now, you only know that you are afraid. This kind of thing. So this was Freud's analysis of consciousness. It's quite important because it shows consciousness is a lot bigger than we think it is. A lot more going on, a lot of interesting ways to think about it or use it. But as a meditator, we want to be clear, all this unconscious and the karma we can dismiss. The preconscious we can dismiss. The only thing that you're interested in is where is your conscious mind going right now. When your conscious mind goes to something, I use the word lands on that thing. In meditation speak, we call this an object of awareness. So right now, put your object of awareness onto the breathing at your nose. You have to instruct the mind, right? Then you kind of, it's weird, how do you do it? But then, okay, I can find it. Then you put your attention onto something else. Thailand's new Prime Minister. Do you like or dislike? I don't care, you like or dislike. The point is, if I call that topic into your mind, now your conscious attention has landed on this topic, Thailand's new Prime Minister. Once your attention lands on it, you react, you like or you dislike. When you have liking and disliking, you start to create a story, you get interested, and your attention is now lost or caught in that object, in that thing. Now, some of you don't care. Who's the Prime Minister of Thailand? Anutin. You're like, don't care. So you have neutral feeling. Because you have neutral feeling, when I mention the Prime Minister of Thailand, comes into your mind for a second and then disappear because you don't care. This is liking, disliking, and neutral feeling. If you have liking or disliking, you will call that in and hold that into your mind. If you have neutral feeling, very quickly your attention will pass on to something else. So what happens when you're meditating? You should be aware that where your conscious attention is, you don't worry about other things. Where is your conscious attention gone to? That now is the object, becomes your primary object. If you are not careful, that object will suck your attention in. I like the word lure. L-U-R-E. It's like the thing you put on a fishing line for the fish to bite. When the fish bites the little worm with the hook, he's hooked. It can't get off. So your mind gets lured in primarily by liking and disliking, sukha vedana, dukkha vedana, pleasant sensation, unpleasant sensation. So this is what we are trying to observe with meditation. We are observing specifically the conscious attention. Where has conscious attention gone? That now is your primary object, and you note it. The mechanism of noting is specifically so you don't get caught or lured or hooked. One Pali word, many Pali words, but one Pali word, nanti. Nanti means to delight in. In English, they translate as to delight in. Can be positive or negative. And you're hooked into that thing. So you mentioned Thailand's Prime Minister to me, I don't care. There was, as our boss mentioned, something about him. He was legal, cannabis legal. I don't like that idea, but now you mentioned Donald Trump. Now I have strong feeling. I'm not going to tell you if I like him or if I dislike him. I did a survey some years ago in Mahajula, and I found that Burmese monks tend to like him at that time. The Vietnamese monks and nuns, they didn't seem to like him very much. Also, females tend not to like him so much. I mentioned Donald Trump. Your mind lands on that subject. Now you have liking or disliking will draw your attention in. For the next 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you are lost in thinking about that subject. This process of the mind getting drawn into things, that's what you are observing in meditation. So when you're meditating, is ordinary experiences. Earlier on, the guy came around and he was beeping the air conditioners. Did you notice? Did everybody notice? Some people not notice. Thais have a way of just sitting and not noticing noises. So I noticed beep, 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 and I'm thinking, how many beeps per air conditioner? There's 8 air conditioners, there's 60 beeps. What is he beeping on? What's happened? That noise has come up. My attention lands on it. That is now my primary object of consciousness. It's drawn my mind in. It's drawn my attention in. If you're mindful, you note hearing. Okay, you can beep, 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 and I don't lose self-awareness. Can be difficult because my mind's like, yeah. And then I'm thinking, now I'm quite old, I have some power. Maybe I can open my eyes and point. It's quite interesting monks, if you point, people start to change what they're doing. So I'm thinking, do I try and stop him? Do I not try and stop him? Then I'm thinking, I don't care about the noise, actually. I care about you being disturbed by the noise. Plus, I'm a bit annoyed, like, why is he disturbing people? I feel my mind wants to go in. I note hearing. I don't allow the attention to be drawn in. Understand? When the noise disappears, I think, food. Now I'm thinking about what are we having for lunch? I'm thinking, is the vegetarian food here for lunch? Now my attention is drawn into that. I note thinking. I don't allow my attention to get drawn in. If my attention gets lost or caught in it, after a minute or 2 minutes, I remember, sati, mindfulness reasserts itself, and I note thinking, to step back from the thinking. This is the process that we are doing with our meditation. After some time, it should give you a sense of self-awareness, independent to the things going on around you. Then you can hold this sati. Starts to become very pristine, very beautiful, very still, but not concentrating on any particular object. Some of the very beautiful states of mind will start to arise at this point, at this 2 o'clock. So, just until Dr. Hansa arrives, anybody have any question or comment about conscious attention, conscious awareness?
Yeah, there is, let's say you talk about that, saying the happy, unhappy, and another is neutral way.
Yes.
So most of the time I can see if I'm not happy, I try to go happy. But I don't know how to go neutral.
I like to use the word liking, disliking, or neutral. Technically, it should be pleasant sensation, unpleasant sensation, neutral sensation. It's the same. Dukkha Vedana, Sukha Vedana, Adukkha Sukha Vedana. Right. And there are only 3. There is no other possible addition to this. Every time your attention lands on something, you have one of these 3 will arise. So the point is not so much to, is my mind going sukha or dukkha? The point is to notice that sukha, liking, and the disliking will draw your attention into the subject strongly. Then you need to make a strong effort not to get drawn in. Especially with pain, painful feeling, really wants to draw your attention in. So you note that dukkha vedana, you note that disliking. At some point, you can get to see pain, and then you realize the pain, my knee hurts, my knee hurts, my knee hurts. And then you realize I can feel my knee, but it's not causing suffering. You start to separate. These things start to become clear with practice. So the point is not to get happiness or unhappiness. You want to raise out of that system of continually reacting to the world around you. You ever notice that with some people, some mentally handicapped people, some deranged people or drunk people, powerful people? They can't help but react. I had a friend like this. He was always very excited. And he lived in a house by the river, and the boats that would go by were really noisy. And so I'd say to him something like, isn't it nice living in Thailand with nice weather instead of the rainy weather? He's from Austria. And he'll be like, oh, it's so great living here. I can come outside. And he's all animated and his arms are moving and his face lights up. And then I'd say to him, those boats outside are really noisy, aren't they? Why are those boats so noisy? Why don't Thais make boats that are quieter? And I can flip him like a remote control. Any mood, any feeling I want, I can just flip him. And so that is an immaturity of being, we say, chased around by your liking and disliking. Means you haven't learned to separate from liking and disliking. Liking and disliking controls you, controls your mood, controls your character. If you have mindfulness, liking and disliking, you receive mindfully. So you are less likely to be pulled around. Freud was quite clever in distinguishing consciousness this way. Nobody had thought about that before in quite the same way. But it is important for meditators. You are only interested in where your conscious attention is. That's where you arouse mindfulness. Any of you study psychology? A little bit? I studied psychology here. What's he around behind? Some of you, I'm not sure you know, maybe take a walk later, but behind here is the original Mahayana campus. So I did my BA degree here. We have no aircon. She was no aircon. Some of the rooms had no windows. It's just open. Yeah. Do you need bathroom break before the next session? You do? Okay, go take a bathroom break. If you want to stay, carry on talking. I'm happy to talk a little longer. Anyone else want to know about consciousness, unconsciousness? Go ahead.
When I'm 60, I know things clearly, I'm okay with that, but it's when I get cramp in my legs and tingling in my feet. Am I meant to sit and accept it, or am I allowed to move? Am I meant to train my mind to...
Well, you're allowed to move. Right. So, of course, these kind of questions, every teacher you ask is going to have a different answer, which is a problem. So, it depends what you are trying to do. If you are trying to sit still for 1 hour and not move, then don't move. If you are trying to be mindful, practice mindfulness, well, maybe you need to get up and walk. The point is, whatever strategy you use, you need to keep that mindfulness going. So let's say the pain gets so much that you decide, I have to stand up and walk. And when you say have to, nobody's going to beat you if you stand up and walk. Nobody's going to come and what do you say in English, like cut your credits because you moved. You know what they did in Mahatala a few years ago? They had the retreat in Magnoi. And if while you were meditating, if you start to nod your head like this, they take a picture of you and they put it up on the screen. You are not allowed to nod your head. So, broadly speaking, in the practice of mindfulness, you want to try and bring mindfulness to everything, and including if you decide to move. You should do so mindfully, carefully, knowing what you are doing. Sometimes the body gets too much, and then you have to adjust position. On the other hand, if you adjust every minute, then so really it comes down to you, your practice, your method. You did ask about the 40 meditation objects earlier today. So I might mention this list of objects was a later list. It's assembled from things that the Buddha said, but actually was a list drawn up later. So primarily the objects can be the breathing, or any part of the body, or knowing the body as 4 elements, or knowing the body as in the posture, sitting, standing, walking, or knowing the body as in what it's doing, reaching forward, eating, going to the bathroom. So body is one set. Kasina, which he mentioned earlier, but he didn't explain, but kasinas are objects of focus, and usually they are colors. So color yellow, green, blue, white, light. Not red. You're not allowed to use red. I don't know why. And you're not allowed to use black. I also don't know why. So certain colors, fire kasina that he mentioned, looking at a candle. That's another one. So they are objects of concentration. Another set is loving kindness, sympathetic joy, equanimity, and compassion, all Brahma Viharas. Those are another one. So these are all in the list of 40. So they're different things that you can focus attention on if that's the practice you're trying to do. Yeah. The point about that he was making about mindfulness is you're not using any specific object. You're trying to observe the processes rather than freeze the mind on an object.
Yeah, there is the mindfulness already on the meditation way. And the like is unlike on the surface, but the kindness and the lovely, that kind of under like and unlike. So I think which way I follow. I know I don't follow like or unlike, dislike, but I should follow the kindness, lovely, follow that kind of.
You should develop good qualities, sobana citta. So things like loving kindness, metta, this is something worthy that you can put your attention on and develop that meditation. So there are good things that you should put attention onto.
Okay.
Okay, that's one part. When your attention lands on something, liking or disliking or neutral will automatically arise and will draw the mind in. So that's the process that we're trying to observe. And if you maintain your mindfulness, you will not get drawn into the object. So then you note the object, seeing, hearing, feeling, liking, planning, whatever it is that has come up. That's now your primary object. You note it until it starts to fade, and then you return to your body-based object, rising and falling. So that's the process, liking and disliking. We don't need to build a big plan of the mind and all the things in the mind. We're just noting this process of getting drawn in and bringing mindfulness back.
What happens with love, compassion? You need to feel drawn or not?
With love and compassion, this is when you set out to develop a particular object of concentration. So the Buddha said, sobana citta, beautiful mind states are worth developing. How do you develop it? You only develop it by putting attention onto it. If you don't put attention onto a subject, it starts to separate from you. If you put your attention onto something regularly, then it's easy for that thing to arise. Same with your relatives. If you have a relative, you don't like him very much, maybe you send a birthday card, you write one line, the next year you don't send a card, that relative starts to vanish from your mind. But you have a relative, another relative who's living in the house with you. You may like them or dislike them, but they're there every day in your conscious attention every day. So the more often you put something into your conscious attention, the easier for that thing to arise in the future. So there are beautiful mind states that you should develop. Things like not just loving kindness, karuna, compassion, which means feeling others' pain, sympathetic joy, taking joy in their joys, and equanimity. But things like a very good practice is contentedness, to be content with what you've got. The Buddha taught this all the time. He said to monks, be content with the robes, be content with alms food, be content with what dwelling you are given, and be content with the medicines that you use. That's it. So this is to give you that sense of contentment and ease and space. So that's a perception that you develop deliberately. It's not mindfulness practice. It's a deliberate practice. I think we're going to go ahead very quickly though, because
I was just going to ask you the like quality of like compassion and loving kindness and stuff, but also be like the derivative of compassion insofar as we come to experience that everybody's subject to the same kind of thing. It's not theirs.
you'd hope so.
But it's like rather than even if we were to specifically focus on that kind of practice as a result of investigating and
So it's a good question. Will it arise spontaneously when you've opened up that space with compassion? I'd say so, yes. It tends to do that. But you really need to give it a helping hand. You know, the four right efforts. When a wholesome mind state has arisen, you try to maintain it. When a wholesome mind state has not arisen, you try to arouse it. When an unwholesome mind state has arisen, you try to abandon it. When an unwholesome state has not arisen, you try to prevent it. So this is four right efforts. It's part of the Noble Eightfold Path. And it specifically is an effort that's put forward to develop good qualities. Simply observing is not enough. You need to have that attention. Because I can observe myself robbing a bank.
I suppose that's where I'm writing skill with teaching.
That's why you need the whole Eightfold Path and not just one thing. I think we're going to 2:15, expecting him any moment. And if we're doing the meditation again and you hear beeping, it's because I'm standing there with the beeper and I'm trying to see who's being mindful and who looks up at me while I'm doing the beeping. So if you hear it again, it's a test. And you know, you have to maintain your mindfulness. You studied psychology in Mahayana?
No, before this, I studied for
1 year.
basics.
Okay, cool.
How long have you practiced?
Practice what?
Maybe.
I was 20 years old. So 36 years.
So you already tried many ways of actually.
Yeah. And every teacher has a different thing. And then you're like, well, which one do I do?
You don't attend
You don't have any desire.
events.
Well, you always have desire, like you desire to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You can't escape that. So you will always have desires. This is important. Is it important discussion
Yeah.
about the topic of desire?
I'm I use that the basic desire, like eating, sleeping, have you met a state bench? This no.
No, you always want to eat. You always want to sleep. You always want to go to the bathroom. This is inescapable path. Even the Buddha, he wanted to go to this place. He wanted to go to that place. The monks are practicing well. He wants to support them. These monks don't practice well. He wants to leave. The Buddha also had desire like that. But the point is, in the mind, you can get to the point where you feel the mind go to the sound, it goes to the thinking, it goes to the history, it goes to your feeling, and there comes a point where the mind just, and it's not moving. At this point, there is no desire. This you can attain to, observe. Yeah. But there can be no object. Doing that. The same kind of practice. One is to be without desire. Another is sunyata, emptiness. And the other is not enough time to describe that, but these three practices meant that it's the moment where the mind just stops in equipoise object, because that's an activity. But there's a point where the mind just stops and you, oh wow, and it feels beautiful. Yeah, so this is what desire, being without desire I was in a monastery and we had an all-night sitting, so we had to sit from 7 p.m. till 6 o'clock in the morning, so all night. You're allowed to stand up. So you learn how to sleep on a chair like this. And I had the determination, no desire. And I sat, and then the next hour I sat. I realized I want having the, yes, be careful with the idea of being without desire.
Progress.
Fix your life. You're trying to decide this part of me is no good, this part of me is good. I have to develop this skill. I have to be nicer to my cat. I have to feed the dog more often. I have to have a job. I have to do fear of attaining to happiness by rearranging a lot of your life. So that's what I mean when I say we're only as a meditator, you only care about the conscious, the thing in conscious awareness right now. That's all that's important. We don't need to try and fix up all those things, fix your psychology, fix your life. You're just watching this process of getting drawn into things and holding yourself in restraint on that. You can be conscious of many things at once. You can't. You're just aware of one thing and then it goes to something else. Then it goes to something else. So that's the process that you're watching in meditation. I don't know, is he coming or not coming? ďØng, is he coming or not coming? I'm quite happy with that.
I'm not sure I did hear it wrong or something, but it said like the pasta.
No, I wasn't. No. Karma, so unconscious, is similar in concept to karma. But anyway, I'm going to hand over the microphone.
Thank you, Bante.
I would say maybe every professor is better for them to leave at least an email address so we can what to ask about research about my courses. There's one way to contact. And in the future, if I go to ask about this kind of what should I do? Email or for example like this. They can do receive this the Kostana and then Shakya groups that one was a kind of a disaster that the Shakya clan was completely wiped out. And so that I think it was very people to see that happened because the Shakya clan, Buddha is Shakya. I think he would have less probably sadness or his Jesus Christ. Interesting one, these single things, it was finished with a great digest. But when we look those
พอมีใช้ที่
Before we take a break, I think our brother may have a questions. Please.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Just a practical question.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You were speaking about concentration samatha and then insight vipassana. As a practice, I'm speaking about the practical aspect of these two. When we are sitting, look at an object. My experience is through that being with the object and being curious and staying with the object, which is concentration, the door to insight opens automatically. I happen to become aware of the nature of the phenomenon, following insight. So practically, I know in the book is defined this as this and that as that, but practically, for me, these two they marry somehow. One is a window to a bigger opening, which is insight. Samatha is a window. And automatically it happens for me in practice. I just want to know if I'm doing something wrong when I'm practicing. Stop myself when the insight comes and say, okay, no, I stay with the object. Because object opens into the wisdom of the wisdom of anicca, the wisdom of anatta, the wisdom of dukkha, when we stay with an object.
Okay. So, meditation, there are both samatha and vipassana. Many times, samatha and vipassana happen together. Actually, samadhi will support vipassana. Okay? How will support? For example, when you focus with something, so each moment, without concentration, you cannot see something clearly. So it means that we call this one is Khanika Samadhi. We have three kinds of Samadhi. The first one is Khanika Samadhi, is a small or momentary Samadhi or concentrations. Okay, when you observe rising and falling or in and out, we not need to use the deep meditation, deep concentration or deep Samadhi. We just know too much attention. So this is we call Khanika Samadhi. The second one is Upachara Samadhi, is Samadhi a little bit deeper than Khanika Samadhi. When you put your mind in one thing longer than momentary. Okay. And the last one is Appana Samadhi. Appana Samadhi is the deepest Samadhi. So your mind is so calm and peaceful. Sometimes you cannot hear anything because your mind is already put in one single point and you don't care. Nothing can distract your mind. But when we practice Vipassana, okay, normally we just use the small concentration, like you walk, right, go to left, go to. This is also Khanika Samadhi. Now move your body, also Khanika Samadhi. So the Khanika Samadhi, why we use this one in practice Vipassana? Because it helps you to see something clearly, not too deep. See, not too deep, just surface. So it means that Samatha and Vipassana can go together, but the degree or the level of Samadhi not too deep, just surface, in order to see something clearly. But when we practice Samadhi and or concentration and mindfulness, because it moves so fast and a lot of phenomena happen in our body and mind. So our function that we have to do is just observe it. Sometimes we cannot see anicca, dukkha, and anatta clearly, but sometimes we don't understand it because it moves so fast. Anyway, if we don't see anicca, dukkha, and anatta clearly, it doesn't matter. But the most important thing, keep mindful in the present moment as much as we can. This is the point. How can we be in the present moment as much as we can? That's the point. I mean, okay, you know what are you doing? How long? How can be present moment in your rising and falling, in your sitting, and you feel happy, you feel relaxed, you feel, enjoy every moment of your life. I mean, from rising, falling, or you're walking. That's enough. But today I have to explain about panya or wisdom of anicca, dukkha, and anatta, because the purpose of practice samatha and vipassana is quite different. The purpose of samatha, you have to calm your mind in only one point. But vipassana, the purpose of practice vipassana is to see anicca, dukkha. Explain about vipassana. I think one time I already explained about it. Long Po Cha or Ajahn Chah explained it. You see, one guy buy a new home, moved to work in Bangkok, and one day he found that his neighbor shout at him in a negative way. You are buffalo. Like this, talk like this. He feel, what happened? Why you talk to me in a negative like this? If someone talk to you, you're buffalo, what happened? You're gonna fight, right? He not have talk to me in negative type. He have a question. He go to work, but he still remember the word of buffalo in his head, He feel anger, right? When he come back, he also hear this word again, this guy, oh, buffalo, like this, talk in a negative way, go and back every day. Until 7 days pass, another neighbor talked to him that, hey brother, that guy follow, actually he have a problem. He has a trauma. Last year he just get some accidents. So his mom, his dad, his kids already gone. Just only him left in the car accidents. So he feel lonely. He cannot control himself. So, and then what happened? He understand clearly the lose something that he loved, lose family. So something different, change. Reaction. Reaction, because he know the reality of this guy, and he have kindness, empathy, change from anger to have kindness to empathy, because he know already about the background that he lost, he have trauma instead of the anger. So this is the same reaction. When you understand clearly the body and mind, your reaction is quite different because you know and understand. For example, like you see painful feeling when you acknowledge or note pain. At the beginning of practice, you feel like, oh, the pain is mine. I want to control it. When you feel pain and then you move your leg, but you practice for the can live with pain. Why? It changed because you have concentration, you have mindfulness, and you be patient with the painful feeling. Because you understand, oh, the painful is just painful. I cannot overcome, I cannot change it. Because I see the nature of you already. I just see and observe you, to see, look at you as you are. I don't want to change you. This is the reaction. You be free from something that you attach. This is my body, is my pain. And then you can be free and you can understand, live with the painful feelings. Like someone sitting longer, 2 hours, 3 hours, their reaction, because they have experience and practice again and again until see the reality of painful feelings, the reaction. Alright, when we practice like this, two of students before we start the second session, we study today. We separate 1, 2 like this, explain deeper. It's just theoretical, it's a concept. But when we practice, whatever happen in your body and mind, that's the most important for you to observe it. That's all, very simple. But we learn here, it's like a pariyatti, to know and understand what happened when we practice. It depends on you to practice, but when we practice vipassana, we have to follow in satipatthana. Right? Follow in the satipatthana. Have atapi sampachano satima, have effort, have well know in your phenomena, and have the mindfulness in present moment. That's all. I can say, I think Venerable only one sentence, pretty clear of everything. That is that happiness is here and now. Here and now. It's come from Tittha Dhammikatha Prayot, or the happiness in the present moment. When you enjoy in and out, that's all. So this is happiness is here. I think very simple, very simple. But when we study like this, it's quite if someone not have the background in Pali, you must have some difficulties. But when we practice, we don't talk like this. Oh, this is vipassana, this is samatha. We don't go to in the deeper. We just practice and see what happened in body and mind. That's enough. That's enough.
Thank you.
How can I? Okay. Can you see the screen? Okay, let me call the staff first.
Let me try first.
Okay, please.
Put the number right here. Username. Just have
You can. It's touch screen. Can you check? Okay, please. Okay. So today we talk about like espresso. To see like the seed, the origination of the espresso. So when we have the background like this, and then we can see how mindfulness come from and how can we cultivate from the original one. I mean from Satipatthana Sutra. Okay, and after that when you to do your dissertations, it's called applied mindfulness, right? So you have to design your course. You want to help the society. Actually, when we want to do the dissertation or research, we have to research to understand the problem. The first kind is something in Tipitaka, or you have some idea and you want to know what's happened, what is the problem, and then you do your research, right? But number two is solve problem. If you want to solve problem, I mean, if you see some gap of the research, you see some problem in the society for the people who work so hard and don't have a time to practice, you want to help them to. So this is the solve problem. We have two kind of the dissertation, right? Okay, so you can design by yourself when you do this dissertation. But when we do the dissertation, we have to review literature. So the review literature in chapter 2, you have to review about mindfulness. Satipatthana is the foundations of us. That's why we have to know about the Satipatthana, about the mindfulness, because we have to go back to the originations of mindfulness from the Buddha, like today we talk about. This is the theory. It's quite different from last week that we practiced, right? When we practice, we don't talk too much. We just right quotas and left quotas, right quotas and left quotas. Very simple for the practice. Practice in daily life, not only in the school, in the meditation room, right? But study like this, it helps us to understand the origination of the espresso. See? Amir said that this is sweet, espresso is very bitter. Okay, I understand you. Yes, Venerable.
Okay, so now talking about the research. So how do we know our topic is a new thing? This is one thing, and the second one is even okay. Now when we talk about mindfulness, I think mindfulness cannot be a new thing, but the application can be the new, like the new thing.
Yeah.
Why? For example, like how to practice mindfulness. The method of practice mindfulness at my village or like at my hometown or something like this. I think this is the question that I would like to know. And how do we know that mindfulness is the new thing for us when we are doing a research? Yeah.
It's a very good question. So the retreat we call formal meditation. Like we walk 1 hour, sitting 1 hour, is a formal meditation practice. Okay, but not everyone can practice a formal because everyone have different problem and different contexts. For example, like children, right? Children in the school, they cannot come to walk without 1 hour, sitting 1 hour because they have a short concentration, right? How can we help the children to have the concentration for their study, right? Okay, maybe you can have the idea to create the course or some technique of mindfulness to help this group of the children. Okay, like my temple, we have the youth camp in summer. We have let the student, the activity, we decide the activity, let the student writing, painting, painting, and walking on the stick meditation. We don't talk too much about Vipassana, but how can we design the course or activity that's suitable for group of the people, right? So the outcome after the practice of like this in my temple, so mostly the children also happy. They feel like meditation is not too difficult like for the monks, for the nuns in the temple, but they can apply in daily life. That's the first technique. We can call this innovation process innovation. We have two innovation. The first one is product innovation, right? Like Apple Watch to check your blood pressure, right? Your heart rate. This is a product innovation. But the mindfulness that you design for the society or to group of the people is come from the research, that you see the gap of the research and then you develop the course that's suitable for some group of the people in society. We call process innovation. So the process innovation is come and you design the course. Before you design the course, you have to ask who are your stakeholders. Who are your stakeholders? For example, the children who can be the stakeholder. The stakeholder means the person who is important in the research. That can be parents, mindfulness master, teacher, or like a psychologist, the children, something like this. And then we invite them to have a group discussion and decide. Because if you think by yourself, you might have bias from you are a monk, right? Maybe you want to practice right kotas, left kotas, that's enough for you. But if you invite the expert, like a psychologist, into your research, and then you will get some idea difference, and then you decide the course for the children. That's very helpful. And at the end, you can get some new process for practice meditation for the children. Next, one of my students, she is a doctor in cancer in Bamrung Rat, International Bamrung Rat Hospital. Dr. Sutida, I think I will invite her to share knowledge next time. She's so smart. She works so hard and she helped many people, especially the cancer patient. Many cancer patients die, and she helped them to rest in peace with the suggestions of the Dhamma. She decided the course for the cancer patient by practicing Anapanasati to deal with the painful feelings at the end of life. Because the cancer patient can come to walk meditation with us, right? Cannot 1 hour walking, sitting. So how can we help the group of the people who have the problem like this? She decided the course. She used the bell every 15 minutes to come back to the body, to come back to in and out of the breath. Yes. So this is the process for the cancer. Mindfulness for cancer. Next, mindfulness for elderly people. I just finished my research work yesterday. Yes. Funding by IBSC. I use for. Okay. I apply mindfulness for the elderly woman. I found that in my temple, elderly women come to practice. 99% is a woman in my temple practice. I want to know what happened, what they need, what context, and ask into innovative process or innovation. Mindfulness is not only in the temple. Mindfulness is not only in the scripture, but it can be applied to the society to help them. Yes. One of my students do the research about the people who work in abroad, in Australia, in Brisbane. Thai people work so hard and sometimes they feel lonely. They need someone, they need some activity. So she decided the course for Thai people who live abroad and work so hard in online meditation course. To open like a Dhamma Kita, right? To invite the mindfulness master to give a Dhamma talk in 7 days. So we have pre-test and post-test, the result of the course, and then decide the course. I think it's the same as MBSI, mindfulness reduction,
Yes.
right? Can you explain a little bit about this course?
Oh, of course, yes. I think the genius of MBSR.
Why we
Internet is connected again. It's Anisha.
People relate to it. Like even the word, the title of the program, a stress reduction program, mindfulness-based stress reduction program. So when people see that on a poster, right away they say, "Oh yeah, stress. I can take a course in stress," and they walk into the hospital, not knowing. I mean, always John Kabat-Zinn used to say, the big word, the most important word on this sentence is mindfulness. So people come in to learn to deal with stress, not knowing that they are learning mindfulness. Becoming Zen masters, or I don't know, practitioners of Dhamma. The trick, the love trick, not the dirty trick. The love trick is that the stress. Everyone has a stress. So yes, I think this is what about is very important. What mindfulness is stress reduction and other things like you were saying. I think it was beautiful. Teaching children the walking on a day, and it's fun. At the same time, we are increasing the capacity to be in MBSR. We are increasing the capacity to be with pain. We are reducing the amount of suffering in them, and that's at the core is Dhamma. I mean, Dhamma teaching. People after 8 weeks, they don't know why. They do not know why. Because we never talk about these things as a MBSR teacher. I never talk about Dhamma. I never talk about the essence. Just be with your breath. Be with your sensations.
Yes.
And then they become that slowly. So I think that's the genius, that's the beauty of these approaches. That's being innovative, being creative with mindfulness.
That's a great explanation from the not monastic language. I think I have to say thank you for the lay student who come to study with us, because without the lay students, without the lay people, I think the monks is quite difficult to connect, because for the lay students like you have like a connection, you have the same language to other people. So you can summarize and explain clearly to the level of group of the people. I think like a mindfulness-based stress reduction. So I think it's pretty clear, not the monastic word, right? When we talk about the monastic word, sometimes it's very difficult for those who not believe in the Buddhism. Sometimes they don't familiar with the Buddhism, right? But stress is a very universal word for everyone. Can be know by themselves, from stress from work, stress from family, stress from wife. I'm not sure about that. From husband, from job, from financial. So yes, that's very interesting, because stress is like a representative of sufferings. And very lucky that I know MBSR, and then one of my students, they want to change from mindfulness-based stress reduction to be mindfulness-based anxiety reduction. Not stress, but anxiety. And another case that would be interesting is that the soldier who passed the battlefield, his friend already dies, but only him survives. He have trauma, PTSD, right? Trauma. Syndrome, I'm not sure about that.
Post-traumatic stress.
The chronic, I'm not sure. Like someone who have the trauma with like the shock or the situation that hurt him so much. Like the situation of the soldier, you know, everyone dying, he survived, something like this. So. Yes, post-traumatic stress disorder. Yes. They're also waiting for your help, for your hands to help them. Yes. So you can decide the cause for them. And one of my students, she just passed the proposal examination. She do about the tea meditation for IBSC students. She found that some PhD student study art, you know, and she want to apply the tea meditation and thinking meditation like this for PhD students. So when you do the research, you have to focus on who you want to do for who is your scope of population that you want to help them, right? That you want to help them. Yes. Okay, thank you so much for Amir. Sadhu. Angie, what about Angie? Your idea today? Got some idea?
Yeah, it's difficult to speak about this. You know, I'm an MBTC teacher as well. So, but I integrate this into my practice with in psychological sessions, and so I don't follow the 8 week, the general 8 week process, and your lecture. It helps me a lot, although, because maybe you know that I graduated last year at Dharma Gate Buddhist College in Budapest. So what you told us today was familiar for me, because I heard it at the college, but I think repeat it again and again. It's useful, and as I heard you, as I was listening to you, I always find way how to speak about the problems what my clients faces from Buddhist perspective. I mean suffering, because what is suffering in Buddhism, we can call in psychology stress, pain, loss, and I can give my clients spiritual understanding or perspective to deal with their problems. And that was what strengthened in me that as I listened to you.
That's very interesting, sister. That's very interesting. Okay. Because your work is psychologist, right? Psychologist.
Yes. And counseling psychologist.
Okay. Maybe if you come to Thailand, maybe we can share together. Yes, we have durian and we have the tea meditation for waiting for you both, Amir and Angie. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, next I would like, after the 4 foundations of mindfulness, I think you already learned with Ajahn Banjop, right? Mindfulness in Tipitaka, right? Satipatthana. So I would like to add more about the Satipatthana. Another topic is that 5 power of enlightenment, right? 5 power of enlightenment in practice, meditation. If you want to achieve for practice inside meditation, you have to have 5 power to drive yourself to practice meditation effectively, mindfully. Number 1 is we call faith or sattha. Sattha is mean belief or trust in something, right? Trust in something. We call 5 powers. The first one is faith or sattha, and second one is energy. Sattha virya or energy or effort. And third one, sati or mindfulness, right? And number 4 is concentration. And the last one is knowledge or wisdom. Sattha, virya, sati, samadhi, and panya. 5 powers that will be the great energy or power to drive the practitioner to achieve enlightenment, to achieve the peaceful of mind. Number 1, faith or sattha. Without sattha, it's very difficult. Without trust, it's very difficult to bring yourself to practice meditation. If you are not Buddhist, you are a non-believer, no problem. Sattha in this case, it doesn't mean that you have to believe in Buddha, Dhamma or Sangha, but you believe that this kind of technique can help you to be free from stress. You have a confidence. You have a confidence. You have something inside that trust that this practice can help you to be better, to be happy, to be relaxed, to be stress reduction, something like this. You have sattha, or when you have sattha, when you have trust in something, and then you will use it, you will take it. For example, you sattha in Starbucks, right? You love brand. We can call brand royalty, right? Brand royalty. And you drive the car and you pass. If you have money, okay, I will buy in Starbucks because I have brand royalty. Or you use an apple, right? You believe in the competency, the future of the apple. So it's the same as the vipassana, the same as the mindfulness, because you believe in the competency, believe in the effects or the result of practice that can help you to be happy, to be free from the sufferings, right? Sattha. When you have sattha already in vipassana, and then you try to practice, you put the effort to practice. When you practice, you have the effort, and then you can get the mindfulness, right? And then you also cultivate the concentration or samadhi in the same time. And the last one, number 5, is panya or knowledge or wisdom that you get from anicca, dukkha, and anatta. You feel relaxed, you feel be free, you feel have some change in your mind and your body. This is a 5 power to drive the practitioner to achieve enlightenment. Not only enlightenment, but also the inner peace in short time or in long term as well. 5 power. Right. Sattha, okay, this is one. The sattha must always be balanced with wisdom or panya. If you have only sattha but without panya to determine, to analyze, it's gonna be blind faith. You know blind faith. Yes, we believe of something too much, but without panya, without the wisdom, without the critical thinking, maybe it would be the blind faith. But in this case, we have to have panya in the same time. Okay, I will explain later. Concentrations, right, and energy, concentration, samadhi, and virya should be together, balancing together. And the last one, however, mindfulness or sati not need to be balanced with any other factor. The more sati there is better. Sati is the leader of everything. Sati is a footprint, like a footprint of elephant. The biggest footprint in the world wild animal is that elephant. If you have sati, sattha will happen, panya will happen, samadhi will happen, will follow, virya will happen. All this sati of mindfulness, that's enough. That's enough. Sati เป็นมารดาของทุกสิ่ง Sati is a mother of everything. If you don't have a time to study the concept and theory of vipassana in Tipitaka, in textbook, no problem. Just only sati can help you. That's enough. All Tipitaka in your body already. Because you not study, but you eat. You not study the apple, but you peel the apple and you eat by yourself, and then you can taste, and then you feel full. Sati is the same, and you bring to your body, you eat, and then you full, and then you be happy. That's enough. Okay. Okay, let me explain something about faith and knowledge. Someone have faith too much and then gonna be the blind sattha or blind faith. But someone have only knowledge in practice meditation. I have one case that I would like to share to you. One case, he so expert in Tipitaka, but he practiced very less. One day he come to practice with me and he meditate. And when he meditate, he think about, oh, this is sati, this is samadhi, this is a panya, oh, this is everything just in the mind. So he feel confused sometimes, and he have some idea and want to change something, and see something want to change. Okay, this one is not right, this one is wrong, something like this. Only the critical thinking. So it means that if you have a lot of knowledge but without the practice, without sattha, you will not respect to the mindfulness master. So faith, sattha and panya should go together. How can we balance sattha and panya? Mindfulness is the leader. It will balance by themselves. The energy or effort. Some practitioners practice so hard. In the night time, they don't sleep. They have a lot of energy. They cannot balance. It's not good for them. They feel they want to achieve as much as possible, but they feel tired, stressed too much, put themselves too much. no concentration, just have only a energy. But someone too much concentration, like a samadhi, too much, they love to sitting meditation, they don't want to walk. So they have nimitta or image or the light when they practice, they love to sitting meditation and they enjoy, don't want to walk, don't want to balance. They love in the one single point and that's all for them. So it's good, but we have the better way is that to balance between effort and concentration from samadhi and virya. So we can summarize that just only one thing is mindfulness, sati, can cover everything to be leader. Okay. Okay, last time I talked about the walking meditation, right? Today I would like to repeat again. This is a walking meditation is a part of Kayanupassana Satipatthana. This picture, I think many years ago, from Eli company, the pharmacy company from America. They come to my temple and practice meditation. Some of them are non-believer, some of them are Christian, some of them Islam. So everyone open the mind and come to practice meditation in my temple. So that's very interesting that all of them very open the mind to come to practice, especially walking meditation. They love so much. They really love so much. I don't know why the Westerner love walking meditation, Maybe they love to movement, right? They love movement. Okay, let's talk about the benefits of walking meditation or this course on walking. Bhikkhu. There are these 5 benefits of walking meditation. Number 1, one can withstand long journey. Number 2, one can sustain striving. Number 3, one is realistic. And number 4, what one has taken, drunk, taste, is properly digested. And number 5, Samadhi attained truly walking is long-lasting. There are 5 benefits of walking meditation. In Thai we call อานิสงส์การเดินจงกรม5 อย่าง อาพาธน้อยย่อยอาหารง่ายนานในสมาธิดำริความเพียรเป็นเซียนในการเดินทาง is 5 benefits. อาพาธน้อย is mean what's that? Healthy. อาพาธน้อย less sickness. Okay. อาพาธน้อยย่อยอาหารง่าย easy for digest, right? Easy digest. ย่อยอาหารง่ายนานในสมาธิ number 3 is you can sitting meditation long time. You can concentrate something longer. That's why I will suggest my practitioner in my temple to start with walking meditation first. The Buddha also emphasized that, okay, start walking meditation because the walking meditation have the benefits to support practitioner to sitting meditation longer. อาพาธน้อยย่อยอาหารง่ายนานในสมาธิดำริความเพียร is mean you will get more effort, energy to practice meditation. If you feel lazy, no inspiration, walking meditation is a good choice for you to start walking meditation, right? And the last one, ย่อยอาหารง่ายนานในสมาธิดำริเป็นเซียนในการเดินทาง is you are very very skillful for walking in the long distance. Be patient, แข็งแรง healthy. This is the 5 benefits of walking meditation. If someone very painful in sitting meditation, you cannot observe your painful feeling. Another thing that very helpful for you is that walking meditation. This is in my temple. We practice 1 hour for walking, sitting 1 hour, do like this. So like Angie, you have to design the course by yourself, right? You can design technique. 99% is a woman. I don't know why in the meditation center and the temple, a lot of women. Can you give some suggestions? Why a lot of women? 99%. More women than men, right? Number 1. And number 2? Men are lazy. Really? But not Amir. He so diligent. He so got a lot of effort.
Women loves marriage.
Women love
Men do something much than men. They all the time they think about something.
Oh, you mean Kusala Dhamma, wholesome state?
They always think.
Oh, the woman always thinks the positive, right? Oh, what about the men? Not nothing about the positive.
Have something to lead to something like release stress. They are
Drinking.
Something like
playing sport. They have another choice.
And the culture that lady women drinking is not good in our society. Right? For the men, it's like a normal. You should drinking,
Okay. She said the women have no choice to make decisions, right? In your point of view. A microphone, please.
I think because the women, we don't have so many way to hold our depression, right? ไม่ค่อยมีทางออก ไม่ค่อยมีทางเลือก ไม่มีทางเลือก
The way to relieve is that
for the women, I mean, I try to translate. For the women, because of the society looking for the woman, she expressed different from the men. The men, they can do anything without like this is good for men, but if they do something like that, the society think it's not good, like smoking, drinking in Thai society, I think. Okay. So they not have, the women don't have much choice.
Okay.
To do, yeah. So
okay.
when she have a stress or something,
okay.
She love to go to temple.
Okay.
To heal themselves.
Okay.
To be with a monk is more safe zone.
Meditation
it's dangerous
center.
For the woman to go.
It's cheaper than go to the therapist. Right. Therapist is very expensive. Angie, therapist is expensive.
Yes, Hungary quite expensive. But I think the reason why more women are in such kind of meditation courses can be that women are a deeper connection to their feelings than men, I think. So they realize easier or sooner the lack of balance, and maybe this can be the reason why they maybe we want to solve in a community our problems. We can more easily connect to each other, to give support to others, and to receive the support than men, I think.
Okay, that's very good idea.
But yes, of course, this is only an idea.
Okay, why I raise this issue for you all to think about this, because when you do the research, you have to interview. It's a kind of the research methodology is the qualitative research with field work. You have to interview, you have to design questions. What's the problem? What they need? What is the current situation? So you have to interview the key informants, the stakeholders from your research. What they need, what the problem they have. For example, like elderly people, what inspires them to practice meditation, and what kind of method that's suitable for them. So you have to analyze, you have to bring the information of the result or the information from this group of the people into your research. Remember that doing the research, it starts from the pain point. The pain point, what is the pain point of that group of the people? If that group of the people know pain point, you don't need to do it, right? They're happy, okay, you don't need to do it, right? If they have pain point, it would be helpful for you. Like a venerable monks, you see now in Thailand, many venerable monks, you know, they make suicides. Make suicides from stress. It's quite contrast with the Buddhist monk, right? But many monks, especially the abbot, yes, they make the suicide from the stress, sometimes from the financial problem. Yes, I think 3 days ago in northern part of Thailand also hang himself, because yes, he worry about. I think Venerable Son, you know about this? Venerable Son, are you okay? Are you here? Are you safe?
Yes, Prachan.
Do you hear about the news from the abbot who suicide himself in Chiang Mai, right?
Yes, is at Necho, around Sansai district. He's get stressful from doing the account of the temple's donation, that he haven't done it for many years, and after the Sangha want to organize the donation monies into the system, he worries about things that happened before. It could, from his also himself, that he have this trauma before. It did not just happen that moment, because the villager said he went to the hospital quite some time as well about this, this stressful before final decision. It's suicide. So it's collect this stressful for few years, I think. So it's just also very stressful now in Thai Sangha and also monastic life, how to keep it more balanced, not too much forcing ourselves, and also can maintain our monks, in a Thai society. Now we have less, I think, amount of Buddhist monk as well. Yes.
You have some idea to keep some suggestions for help them as innovative students?
Yes. We should have some settings to help all these abbots to come and do this together. I think it's more individual for this monk that he's try to manage things by himself and cause some, a lot of stressful. But we can decide some kind of training of doing an accountant, like our most venerable Ajahn went to several zone of Thailand to organize these to our monks to know how to solve the problems, and we can help for sure if we come and do as a group, as each province and each sub-district tambon to make the solution. Yes.
Yes, this is the pain point. We have to find out what's the pain point of the society. So Venerable Son mentioned about the pain point in the monastic community, the monk. Stress from anxiety, yes. But one thing that I think is very important for being in monastic life, no matter how old are you, it doesn't matter. Is that how to protect our mind, how to prevent, to have a guide, to have we can say like have a good friend to protect us. Is that some mindfulness? Yes, the mindfulness practice can be help us to more calm and not too much stress. So the mindfulness is very important, and also the knowledge of doing something like Venerable Son mentioned, have to keep like knowledge about the accountant, right? The accountant. Yes. This is a pain point. You have to find out what the pain point, really pain point. Buddhist study, we study about the analysis of the Pitaka comparison, but innovative mindfulness, it's challenge for you all to find the pain point of the society. You can start from the people surround you, from your work, your family. What is the pain point that you want to help them? And then interview, make a literature review. Does anyone do this research or not? And then you can read their works, and then find out what we can help, we can do for them. Yes. So this is the way we try to push our students to do for the society. Yes, from the things, from the family, from the people surround you first, to see the pain point.
I just mentioned the 5 powers of. Jiang just mentioned the 5 powers of enlightenment, and the first one is faith. So my question is very simple. When people have no faith, how can we build up their faith? So for example, they don't believe in meditation.
Okay.
Furthermore, they don't believe in Buddhism.
Okay.
And we know that very clearly that maybe if they have a chance to practice meditation or try to cultivate mindfulness, they might be able to get rid of some of the sufferings. Okay, but they, in the first point, they don't have the faith, so they don't want to come to practice. They say this is useless. This is religion, you know. And so since they don't have the faith, there's no second point. Yeah, even you want to, there are a lot of ways. You know, you can say, oh, the class is free. Come to practice, and then say when it's free, nothing is free. When it's free, there must be some, you know, bad things. Or when it's free, it's no good. When you charge, like expensive, then they don't come. You know, it's always difficult. So I think this question, since faith is listed as the first point, I don't know whether Ajahn has any insight regarding this one, how to build up people's faith.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's a very good question. In the 5 power, in this case, it focuses on the people who already come to practice in a retreat, or they decide to practice during the practice. Okay. But for those who still not sattha or believe in the Buddhism or the mindfulness, it's very difficult to convince, to make them come to practice. In Thai, we have reasons for those who come to practice. The first one, Yompi or Venerable Son, could you please translate for me? I need your engagement. The reason for those who come to practice meditation, number 1, อกหัก หลักลอย คอยงาน สังขารเสื่อม และเลื่อมใสในพระรัตนตรัย The first one, อกหัก broken heart. Someone come to practice mindfulness and meditation, the first one, อกหัก is a broken heart. The first reason. Okay. หลักลอย what is หลักลอย อันสอนหลักลอย
หลักลอย
ยังไม่มีหลักอ่ะ จิตทำไปเรื่อย
like no purpose in life.
No purpose in life. Very good explanation. คอยงาน
like waiting like
waiting for
no career path.
Okay.
Right? Like no purpose and no job to do.
No job. No money. And you want lucky in your life, like you want to win a lottery number, something like that. In your life, you have no job. You want to do the meditation, forget the merit to support yourself, to promote your life. This is a real in Thai society. Yes. อกหักหลักลอยคอยงาน You're getting old. You have the physical problem. You have sufferings in your body and mind. You're getting some disease in your mind, in your family, in your life. And then you have no choice. So you want to stop from everything and make your mind calm down. Right? คอยงานสังขารเสื่อม สังขารเสื่อม getting old or some disease เลื่อมใสในพระรัตนตรัย what is that? You feel respect in the triple gem, right? Alright, this is the reason for those who come to practice in the temple for Thai society. Let's go back to the question. For those who come to practice, how can we convince them or invite them to practice? It's very difficult to invite them to practice if they don't have belief, right? For the teenagers, they don't have suffering too much. They enjoy with the entertainment complex or the movie or their friends, right? So it's very difficult to invite them to practice. But for those who have like work so hard, trauma or problem, they need some solution in their life. So if one day they feel enough for everything, they need to find some solutions. Like myself, when I was a young monk, I enjoy with study Pali too much. I work and teach study Pali in the same time. I need to complete Pali grade 9, but I cannot do that. I push myself too much. I don't care about the meditation. And one day, I feel headache too much and go to see the doctor because I feel headache so much, big problem. And the headache check my symptom, everything. So he tell me that, Venerable, you have the big problem. You know migraine? Yes. So you have to check yourself what happened with yourself. At the time, I didn't practice meditation too much, one time a week or one time a month, something like that, until I feel suffer. And then I found that I have to do something to change my life. We have the Buddha teaching, we have the Vipassana. So why I don't apply, why don't I practice? I ask myself. And then I stopped from my study, my works for 1 month and go to practice 1 month meditation with my master. And I found that 1 month is meaningful, it changed my life. I still take a photo of medicine that I have from the hospital, the migraine, and then I throw it already. So it must something shock to some people and then be changed. They shock and change. Must be something shock to them. They lose something, they have some problem, and then they will decide to meditate. I talk to my experience. If I don't have my disease, my health problem, maybe I don't want to practice meditation. But for 1 month, it's so meaningful for me. So the symptom of migraine is disappear because I feel relaxed. I stay in the nature or the forest, temple, practice, walking, sitting, eat 1 meal, walking, sitting like this in 1 month. So migraine is disappear from my life until now. Yes. So let me show. Last night I talked to my student who also have the big problem with the migraine as well. I think it's also a pain point for those who want to help the people who have the migraine problem like this, to decide the cause for the migraine people who have this one. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, this one. Where is it? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, in 5 minutes I will stop the class. Let me share some screen. Okay, this is this is the evidence of the medicines. 2012 of migraine. Okay, this is Thai พระมหาวีรศักดิ์แสงพงศ์ from Sikaren Hospital. 24 December 2012. How many years ago? 13 years ago. Migraine is disappeared from my life. I think Dr. QUÄ also have this problem as well. QUÄ, the migraine, can help him to be free from the migraine. So this is the reason that changed my life from shock to change. Go back to the question is that we need to let them meet something and shock and change to come to practice. Maybe the changing or the suffering is a factor of sattha by themselves, sattha in themselves, to leave from the position of suffering, to be free from the suffering. So that's all for today. Yes. Thank you so much for the great question. I hope you don't want to take the medicine from migraine like me. Okay. Now, Venerable Son, thank you so much for translation. Amir, are you okay? You walking meditation many times today?
Yes, working with my lower back pain while being in class.
Oh, back pain. Okay.
And sleepiness sometimes. So that's
okay.
That works.
Please ask me why has failed to come here.
Pardon?
Why Amir has
According to our ที่เราคุยกันมาเนี่ยแล้วตัวสำหรับตัวเขาเองเฟซอะไรเขามีศรัทธาอะไรมาถึงมาดู
Oh, our sister P. asked Amir that do you have any inspirations or some motivations to make you make decision to practice meditation, right? From back pain.
I started with depression.
Pardon?
I started when I was when I went through depression back 25 years ago. Through that, darkness of the mind, and when I came out, I knew I don't want to go there anymore. That's when I started looking for meditation, how to train my mind not to go into deep in the dark. And that's where mindfulness and vipassana came to my life.
Wow. You understand, explain clearly about shock and change?
Yes, exactly. Living sample of it for me too. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that, brother. I'm glad to hear that. So yes, I'm so happy and very grateful. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's take a group photo. Please kindly turn on camera.